Hey everyone. Revelation 1:10 through 11 says, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice, as of a trumpet, saying, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. And what you see, write in a book and send it to the 7 churches which are in Asia, to Ephesus, to Smyrna, to Pergamos, to Thyatira, to Sardis, to Philadelphia, and to Laodicea. So John says he was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. You see, those John was writing to in the 7 churches would have known what he meant by being in the Spirit on the Lord's day. But many in our culture and time may not know. So I'm going to provide a short history lesson here. We know from Acts 10:10, in the Spirit is a deep, trance-like prayer that leads to a vision. Now, the Lord's Day is the first day of the week, Sunday. And we learn this from Acts 27. Jews celebrated Sabbath on Saturday, and per the law, they were not allowed to do anything on the Sabbath. Jesus died and was buried before Saturday, the Sabbath. Everyone rested on Sabbath. Then the women went to the tomb early on the first day of the week, which was Sunday, to finish the burial preparations for Jesus. Well, the tomb was empty, and many met our resurrected Jesus on Sunday. So the tradition of celebrating the resurrected Christ on Sundays was started by the apostles and their disciples. Hence the reason why churches today gather on Sundays. Unfortunately, Sunday church today is not the same as Sunday church in Acts was, but I digress. Moving on. So, John was in deep prayer in the Spirit on Sunday, the Lord's Day, when he heard this booming voice as of a trumpet. It was loud, it was booming. And it says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. Interestingly enough, Alpha and Omega are Greek terms. So I wonder if the voice, the Lord, spoke Greek first, knowing John was accustomed to the language, but then repeated in Hebrew to make an intimate connection with John's true Jewish lineage. I don't know. I don't know that as any fact. It's just a personal observation of mine. So, then the voice gives a command to write what John sees and send it to the 7 churches. And he, the voice, lists the churches in order that they receive the personal message. It starts with Ephesus, and then to Smyrna, to Pergamos, Thyatira, then to Sardis, then to Philadelphia, then to Laodicea. The order is going clockwise. I don't know if that has any significance or symbolization, but for now, let's just make note of it, okay? So, all of this was said before John turns around to see who's speaking to him. He just hears all of this. And we'll get into what John saw in the next video. But before I let you go, we need to keep in mind that when we are reading Revelation, we need to remember the phrase, who is, who was, and who is to come. Present, past, and future, in that order. Because all 3 play a very important role throughout Revelation. We also need to know that symbolism is a huge part of the spiritual world, including Revelation. And that plays a huge part in what's coming up next in what John saw. So, with all of that being said, Thank you so much for listening. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a great day full of blessings, and I will see you in the next video.